Welcome to Jefferson Liberty Radio, the voice of the state of Jefferson in the Central Valley. I'm Matthew, joined by Pat. How are you, Pat?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you, Matthew.
We, still, Alan is still out, so please be in prayer for him. He's not doing all that great. Just keep him in your prayers. Pat.
We love you, Alan.
Yes, we miss you very much. Pat, you want to take it away?
I sure do. Welcome to Jefferson Liberty Radio. Tonight we have just a little chat session. We're gonna get into some things. Probably, I think we're gonna try to talk about SB-54 and what's going on in our county. So tonight we have Marie.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. How are you doing, Marie?
Good.
Good. And we have John. Hi, John.
Good evening.
Good evening, John. Glad you're here.
John's barely awake. John starts at 2:30 in the morning.
He has a long day. He's a hard-working, tax-paying man, that's for sure. So tonight we're going to talk about what's been happening in our county. That would be Stanislaus County, and what's been happening with SB-54. A few of us have been to the County Board of Supervisors meeting numerous times, and we've brought up this issue. And we'd like to kind of tell you what the outcome of those meetings has been. And when we talk to the County Board of Supervisors and their response to our questioning the illegality of SB-54. So I'm going to hand it over to Marie right now for just a second. For Marie, take it away.
Hi, everybody. We've been going maybe 15, 16 times to the County Board of Supervisors. We've asked for a resolution against SB-54, and the response has always been eye rolls or no or whatever. We've gotten letters back. John's wife, Michelle, has. I have. John has from the CEO. I have personally never heard from any county board of supervisor. I've heard through the grapevines what they've said about us behind our backs. We had a private meeting with the CEO and Jim DiMartini about all of this, and Sheriff Christensen, who sat there the whole time in the meeting, rolling his eyes and texting on the phone.
Hey, Marie, could you tell us a little bit about that particular meeting? Would you like to go into that, or you don't have
Sure.
to? Okay.
Of course I would.
Well,
Come on.
Here's your opportunity, girl. Go for it.
So we brought the resolution up, and we were told in an email from Jody Hayes, who's the CEO, that we would be having a private public meeting and other groups from Stanislaus County would be joining us. And I said, well, I have at least 3 of my other leaders and myself that would like to come. And he said, well, it's going to be a tight squeeze. We have a small room and we have others coming. And I said, well, we'll just stand, no big deal. We get to the meeting. There's Jim DiMartini, who, by the way, now stands with us, the CEO, Jody Hayes, and Sheriff Adam Christensen at the time. There is nobody else in this meeting. We're in a big conference room that seats about 30 people, and there's 4 of us. And they proceed to tell us that they will never vote on a resolution for SB-54. They don't want to get sued. They don't, by the ACLU. They don't want to hurt other people or offend other people. They let ICE in to our jails, which is true, they do now, but at the beginning of Christensen's term, he did not, and our county is actually on the list of sanctuary counties.
I think it's important to add, just to tell people that this happened last summer.
Last summer, this happened. So we had a discussion, and if everyone knows me, the discussion led to basically us just walking out and me telling them they work for me. I don't work for them. I don't appreciate private meetings. I don't appreciate a county board of supervisors sitting there not saying anything. And I didn't appreciate the sheriff rolling his eyeballs at me and making little smirks. I don't appreciate how we were treated at all. And we walked out, and we came back, and we kept coming back, and we just kept being ignored. So recently, we brought it up again because we thought there'd been a break, there'd been enough. So we all got together, and we wrote letters. I'm going to let John tell you about the letters he's received from that him and his wife got, and then we can discuss more of what has been happening.
Well, and we have to take into consideration that with the death of Ron L. Singh, it's rejuvenated this argument against SB-54 in our county and nationally as well. So we get into the emails that I've received back. Now I've sent emails to each individual board of supervisor. They have chosen not to email me back. Those board of supervisor members responded through Jody Hayes, or Jody Hayes took it upon himself as the CEO to respond for them. In my mind, insubordination. They're my employees, and he's theirs. I wouldn't accept the foreman allowing a shop worker or laborer to come answer questions I pose to the shop foreman. Why am I going to allow Jody Hayes to answer for his supervisors? Basically, Mr. Hayes says that the county can't change state law. Probably took me 10 minutes to read the email.
We both got the same email.
It's a carbon copy of the same email where he says that the county can't change state law. The man truly does not understand what we're asking the county to do. We're asking the county to denounce an unconstitutional state law. All they have to say is, publicly, in writing, they do not support SB-54 and will not allow any county officials or officers to enforce this law or to comply with it. We're not asking the county to change the state law, simply to stand on a constitutional ground and say, this should have never been a law to begin with.
Why don't you tell them what Supervisor Kristen Olson said to your wife, and that would give people another idea, because the thing is, we've never, like John stated, we've never asked them to change state or federal law. We're asking them to just do a resolution that 23 other counties and cities have done, even ones surrounding them that have stood against this. He states that both sheriffs, past and present, oppose this state law, but that in this county there would not be a resolution. So what did Olson say?
Supervisor Olson says in an email to Michelle today, Stanislaus County continues to work with ICE, and ICE is regularly in our jails. I agree that SB-54 is a bad law and should be overturned. Nevertheless, nothing is accomplished by Stanislaus County weighing in on it, other than to inflame tensions within our community, which isn't good for public safety or the health of the community. The law would need to be overturned either by the legislature or by the voters via referendum on the ballot. If and when there is either a bill in the legislature or an initiative that qualifies for the ballot, that would be the time for the county to weigh in. We've had a law enforcement officer in our county gunned down by a suspected illegal alien who had been arrested several times for DUI in and out of our county jails. We're not the only ones asking for this. Multiple organizations in multiple states and many people in our county are asking them to adopt a resolution in honor of Officer Singh, and they refuse to do so.
One thing I just want to make sure that everybody knows what SB-54 is. We know what it is, and most of the people listening to us right now do know what SB-54 is. But SB-54 is the sanctuary state and sanctuary city status. So I just want to interject that real quick, just to make sure that everybody knows what SB-54 is.
Well, Pat, what has been your take? Because I know we've all had private discussions, and maybe Matthew can chime in with his thoughts too, because it's nice to know that what everybody else has seen from these county meetings and what is going on.
Well, my take on this is that we have a county board of supervisors who are a little not listening to us. And they don't listen to not only us. I mean, it seems like they're not listening to any citizens, any citizen group. And that's just not the way things should be handled. There's some issues that are coming up the issue of SB-54. Well, of course, we'll just stick with that. I just want to let everybody know that my personal feeling about sanctuary status in California and in the city, in the counties. I'm not against immigration. I love everybody. We love everybody. We just want people to come here legally. We are a nation of laws. This is a law. I guess we've come up with this as a law now in California, but it's also a federal issue, and federal issues is that we have got to make sure that the people coming into our country, into our state, are not criminals, do not carry communicable diseases that could harm the general public. Those are my issues on sanctuary status. Matthew, what is your take on it?
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about SB-54 is that it's not actually prohibiting immigration. It doesn't exactly really have much to do with immigration. It seems to have come up in the news as like, it's against immigration, but the actual title of the bill is Law Enforcement, sharing data. And it's an amendment to the way that law enforcement can share data with the federal government. And when you hamstring the local law enforcement like that into not having the resources of the federal government behind you, it's really detrimental to what our county can actually do as a law enforcement agency. And our county, while they may or may not be able to actually change the law, within the bounds of the county, there's a lot of discretion in what can be enforced. And so for our county to not take any sort of stand on this, they know it's unconstitutional. We've heard the emails that they said they think it's a bad law. They think it's unconstitutional. We're saying it's unconstitutional, and it very clearly is. So for the county to at least take a public stance of saying this is a bad thing, just like the water grab. Our counties, I'm pretty sure, is taking a stance against the water grab. That's the same type of thing. It's a law and it's a regulation at the state level. So for them to take a stand on that, but not this, is really distressing to see.
Exactly. And the danger that they're putting our law enforcement agencies and officers is it's terrible. It's terrible. Marie, did you want to add to that?
Well, I was just saying, those of you who don't know, we'll put the resolution up on our Instagram account, which is Stanislaus Concerned Citizens. We'll put it up on our Facebook account, which is Stanislaus County for the state of Jefferson, and then Stanislaus County, Stanislaus Concerned Citizens. And you can see our resolution. I'll put up Rippons, I'll put up Waterford's, and you can see the ones that they've adopted. Now, the resolution we have was one that the 23 counties in Jefferson had wrote up. And it basically is just saying that we take a stand against SB-54 in this county. Waterford's was a little differently wrote, and I can't remember the specifics, but it sort of protected, the DACA kids. And I get that too. But the thing is, everybody needs to come here legally. But back to the resolution, it's just asking them to take a stand. We know that nobody can change the state or federal laws at all. And if we offend someone, well, that's not our problem. Obey the laws of the land. Obey the laws of the land. Come here legally. Go back and do it the right way. I know quite a few people who've done that, and that's how it should be. But, you know, I love the response from John's wife, Michelle. She said, if you're not going to take a stand on the resolution, you're not going to take a stand at all, then why do you even have guards, security guards at your meeting? Or when we come into a building, we should just let anybody in. What does it matter? Okay? Why even build the wall if you're not going to take a stand against a bill that's bad? So our county board of supervisors really needs to rethink what they're doing and what they want, because the will of the people is speaking a lot louder than they're speaking for us.
Right. And we need your voices, people. If you have any ideas or if you want to come to a meeting with us, please attend these Stanislaus County Board of Supervisor meetings.
They're Tuesday mornings at 9:00 at 1010 10th Street in the basement. But the third Tuesday of every month, they're at 6:30 p.m. Not a.m. p.m. So join us. We're going to start going back in another week or two. We want to regroup and figure out how to handle this. Join us. We need you calling. We need you emailing. We need you faxing. We need you to come in and help us out. We need a strong voice. Other groups want a resolution for to protect the Second Amendment, make it a sanctuary Second Amendment county. Well, we can't do that until we get this resolution solved. Mm-hmm. So we need to do this first and foremost.
Right. Well, it's you're so right about that, and it's most of the time when you go to those meetings, it's like, you know, those people who are getting honored. Those are the people you find there, or you find people who very rarely do you see a packed house. We did the past two times that we did have a packed house, but that was for other reasons. The state of Jefferson is this is right in the alley. We're tired of government overreach. That's where we are. We're not being represented, and as Tom Berryhill, what's his first name? Is that Tom? Yeah. Tom Berryhill. Senator Tom Berryhill said, and because he was at the last meeting.
Let's be fair. He's a county board of supervisor now.
Yes,
he needed that government job.
Yes, he did. Well, he sure did. If you don't know, he represented as a state senator 11 counties, which was 1 million people. So I don't know what that ratio is, but do you think you were represented? Do you think you were represented by Tom Berryhill as your state senator? I, for one, do not think that. John, did you have anything to add to that?
No, we're not represented anywhere. We're not represented in the United States Congress. We're not represented in the California Assembly or the California Legislature. And the problem is much larger than anyone realizes. One man in the United States House of Representatives will speak for 775,000 people. At no time did our founders expect that to be the ratio. We have the same situation in California. That's why we're trying to get the state of Jefferson. We have representative ratios that are out to lunch. These people cannot speak. The senators speak for approximately 1 million folks. An assembly person speaks for at least 500,000 people, depending on their district. It's insane. It was never intended to be this way. These representatives are insubordinate. They do not represent the will of the people. And they make these laws they know are unconstitutional going in. I'm of the mindset that if it's an unconstitutional law, we are duty bound not to follow that law.
Exactly.
The Constitution's hamstring the judicial branch, the legislative branches, and the executive branches of our governments. We have no duty to participate in any unconstitutional regulation, statute, or rule that the government puts forward.
That's right. You're way to go. Hey, you John, if you could just go into, you were talking about the ratios. You were in what is your breakdown of the ratios? Can you bring that up on your? Can you bring that to mind? Because that's a mind blower, and I think you have been the best person I have ever heard to explain that ratio. And the delusion of vote. There's another issue, but this ratio of are you able to find it? Or
I recently sent a gentleman an email with it. I'm trying to find that email now.
Okay. While John's looking, Marie, did you have anything to add?
Just that we need your voice. We need you helping us out. We have a very active group, and Pat will tell us when our meetings are and where we'll be meeting next. But we need people out there gathering signatures. When the weather gets better, we're going to be doing some Fly It Fridays, Sign It Saturdays. We're going to do it Norrin Allen Bueller style.
Miss those two.
And we're going to do the Sign It Saturdays, Jeff and Amanda Ford and Jimma's style. So we need everybody out there. We need everybody's support in getting signatures. We need you not only at County Board of Supervisor meetings, but City Council, school
our
board,
meetings.
our meetings.
Yes.
MID, TID, we need all of you out there, just eyes and ears watching what's going on. A lot of these meetings, if you can't go, you can find them online and watch them. I know Matthew and I, when we've gotten busy, we've watched Turlock City Council meetings that way, and I've emailed them back questions, and, they always respond. And It's sad that the city councils will respond, but your county board of supervisors will not respond back to you. That's really, really sad.
Representation all goes right back to
that.
It does. So guess what, people? State of Jefferson is alive and well, and we are working hard to get this done. It's still going to take a while. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. I hate that saying, but
well, and our Revolutionary War was not won in the matter of 4 or 5 years. It doesn't work like that. Freedom isn't free. You have to work hard and be diligent about what you're doing. You have to love God and your country and understand that those rights were given to us by God, and we are here on this earth to protect them. And so we need to start doing our job and being more efficient about doing that.
And one more thing, if you think about it, think about those people who worked so hard and fought so hard for our liberty. What they had to go through. I mean, walking through snow without shoes on. I mean, there was a lot of that. I mean, there was, I can't even fathom that in the freezing cold temperatures of the Northeast. Oh man, I know cold weather, and I know cold weather really well. I grew up in it. So, I can't imagine what they had to go through to earn our gain our freedom and our liberty. So,
John's busy at work here. He's got our representation pack. If you want to know code laws, the Constitution, how the ratio thing works, all that. Well, we have a new leader in our group. This is why we have John with us. So take it away, John.
So in California, our representation ratios are, assuming there's 40 million people. Now, based on last census, we were somewhere around 37 million. Mm-hmm. One could safely assume we're at 40 million folks in the state now. We have 40 senators and 80 assembly members. So, for every senator, that senator speaks for 1 million people. For every assemblyman, they speak for 500,000 people. In this nation, the U.S. House of Representatives representative will speak for 750,000 people. In 1879, California froze the state assembly and the state senate at the 80 and 40 members. We had 440,000 people in the state when they froze those houses. Now we have 40 million. Our vote is literally worth 11 thousandths of 1% of what the vote was worth in 1879. People don't want to engage because they feel their vote's not worth anything. Clearance on the bearings in my race motor are tighter than 11 thousandths.
And that is why we have the California for Fair Representation lawsuit against the state of California, because our votes don't count, and we aren't being represented or heard.
Lack of representation and delusion of vote. That's exactly it. Well, folks, we like we said, we need your help. I hate to keep harping on that, but we really do. We really do need people. We need your voice. We want your voices to be heard. Our voices are heard, well, on this podcast, but not down at 1010 10th Street. So, please let us know if you need, if you want any more information. We'd be more than happy to give you more information on that. And look for us on the corners. We might be on the corner on a Friday, like Marie said. And do you want? Maybe we should tell just a little bit about what we're going to be. The gun show. We'll be at the gun show.
Yes, the February 16th and 17th. We will be at the Stanislaus County Fairgrounds at the Code of the West Gun Show. We will be there Saturday from 8 o'clock to 4:30. Sunday, we usually get there about 8:30.
We are going to have a really good group there who are very knowledgeable about Jefferson and
Second Amendment.
Yeah, really good group. We're not the same old group that you see all the time there. We've got some new people.
Well, and Sunday we'll be there from 8:30 to 4. Great merchandise. We'll trying to put a raffle together that day, and John will be there so he can answer all your technical racial questions.
Be prepared.
Probably be there all day Sunday.
All right. Good job. Good man.
And Matthew can tell us in a bit where you can find all of our information at our website.
So let me tell you about our upcoming meetings and events. And I think we'll just go into January 30th, which is Mayor Ted Brandfold, and he'll be speaking to us at Fuddruckers on McHenry at 6:30, and that'll be in the back room. On February 6th, we've got Mayor Amy Bublack, who will be speaking with us at Grizzly Rock Cafe. Thank you. Where do we meet? Grizzly Rock Cafe, and that'll be at 6:30. Come on out and listen to what our mayors have to say. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to Jefferson Liberty Radio.
This episode is sponsored by OWL Certified Safe and Lock. OWL's offers locksmithing services and alarm systems for a range of applications, including burglary, fire, timber, medical emergencies, and much more. OWL's has been locally owned and managed in Modesto for nearly 70 years, and with thousands of loyal and satisfied customers, you can be sure that OWL's will meet and exceed your needs. For more information, call 1-800-700-4780 or go to owlsalarm.com. That's ALSALARM.com. Thank you so much to OWL Certified Safe and Lock for sponsoring our show. And if you or anybody else you know of are interested in sponsoring our show, you can head over to jeffersonlibertyradio.com or email us at sponsors@jeffersonlibertyradio.com. We'd also love to hear from you. Pat and Marie both mentioned getting involved. You can email us at feedback@jeffersonlibertyradio.com or via our website, again, jeffersonlibertyradio.com. We'd love to hear your questions and comments. Don't forget to subscribe to us in iTunes if you are not already, or you can find us on your podcast player of choice. Leave us a 5-star review on those places. We'd really appreciate it, and it actually does help our ratings. You can find us on the typical social media, Facebook, Twitter. You can also find our episodes on Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, and even some alternative media such as BitChute or Gab. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Jefferson Liberty Radio, and we'll catch you next time.